Not sure where to go or who to trust with your flooring project? And start with Trips Flooring, proudly serving the area for more than 25 years, specializing in floor sanding and refinishing, along with installation of new flooring, including hardwood, tile, vinyl, laminate, carpet, and the hottest trend in flooring, luxury vinyl, tile, and luxury vinyl plank. Are you on a budget? Check out their warehouse, cash and carry, or call 304-229-7009, or visit them online at tripsfloorsanding.com.
Life is evolving. Over the past decade, the way we do almost everything has changed. Get on your phone, see something you like, click on it, and it shows up at your door. Why should the way you have your car serviced be any different? Why waste your time going to a dealership service department when Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet will come to you? They service all makes, all models, and offer full parts and labor warranties. Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet will come to your door or office and service your vehicle while you're doing what you need to be doing, conducting that business meeting or mowing the lawn. Why take time out of your busy schedule when you don't have to? Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet's friendly, knowledgeable staff will come to you where you live or where you work for full service maintenance, from oil changes to tire rotations, brakes, batteries, multi-point inspections. They handle it all. Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet is committed to delivering the best of the best to their customers. Trust them to service your vehicle where you're at home or at work. Skip the time-consuming and terminal wait at the dealership. Schedule your appointment at fordofhagerstown.com or hancockchevy.com.
The following is a special sports broadcast presentation of Talk Radio WRNR Martinsburg.
Play ball! It's time for the excitement of American Legion Baseball, featuring the Berkeley Post 14 Hornets.
Myers with the pitch, swung on and missed. Jason Myers gets the last out, and the Berkeley Post 14 Hornets are the state champions of American Legion Baseball in West Virginia.
Let's go live to the field and join our Talk Radio WRNR broadcast team.
Good evening from P.O. Faulkner Park for American Legion baseball action on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. Colin McLaughlin here, flying solo on the call. Our on-site producers, Cade Miller, and back at the studio is Nick Verzolini, as the Berkeley Post 14 Hornets are back in action for game number 7 of the season, as they currently sit at 5-1 overall. I'll play host to the Frederick Post 11, coming in 2-1 overall. Pregame shows brought to you by Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers, representing accident and injury claims for over 50 years. Go to SkinnerWins.com. Both teams already concluded warm-ups, so the head coaches are now meeting at home plate to exchange lineups, and we'll get into our coaches' interviews, brought to you by Parsons Ford at 1400 Shepherdstown Road and online at parsonsford.com. They became number 1 by making you number 1 first. Parsons. Now joined by the head coach of the Berkeley Post 14 Hornets, Trip Tobin. Coach Tobin, your team gets a victory yesterday at home, 9-1. Just talk us through that game. First off, what you like, and then what you didn't like and want to improve on quickly today.
Well, I thought all aspects of the game we played really well. I thought the pitching and the defense was exceptional. You know, I think the offense was where it's going to be this time of year. So, yeah, I was just really happy with it. Like I said on the post show, we didn't do much of manufacturing runs. We didn't give a lot of signals, just to let those guys work on some things, work on their approach. But yesterday was a good day. All in all, a couple young guys come up, proved they could play up here. Going to make it hard to, to figure out a final roster here in a couple days. And so we're happy for that. You've seen the young team come here, and all that talent down there and what they can do, and that group that's coming through. So just a really good organizational win yesterday, and our 2 wins yesterday with the juniors and the seniors, and now the juniors already pasted one up. So big thing, we're getting a lot of reps in, we're getting a lot of baseball, and guys are here, and we're filling in. Christian Alters, he's back from a tournament. He's going to find some time tonight in the outfield when we get him in. Jet Gross is going to start, and we're going to see Lane's going to work a few things out with Coach Sam before he comes in tonight. Hopefully we can make an adjustment there and then get him back on track. So I'm not sure who we'll finish up with just yet, but maybe you might even see Cole Lewis tonight.
It's been a week since the season started, and for most of these guys it was a few weeks since they played. How much have you really seen the rust quickly come off, though, in the 6 games that you guys have gotten to play?
Well, I think a lot of it's come off. Rust has come off. I think just the fact that we've seen some really good pitching up in Morgantown, and I think that last night we've seen a couple of guys had a little velo, and I think they were patient at the plate. I like that about it. I mean, when you're hometown, you're up a couple of runs, you start to maybe want to swing of bad pitches and get out of your approach. But they were very patient, took the walks that was given them, and then they capitalized when they could. And just fun to watch those guys play. It's fun to be on third base and watch them play.
All right, Trip, anything else?
That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Best of luck. The national anthem concludes. Our coaches interview just before that as well. Again, brought to you by Parsons Ford. We'll now get our starting lineups brought to you by Trips Flooring. Not sure where to go or who to trust with your flooring needs? Call Trips Flooring at 304-229-7009 or online at tripsfloorsanding.com. First for Frederick, post 11, leading off the shortstop, number 4, John Dysinger. Batting second in left field, number 2, Garrison Abrecht. Batting third at first base, number 9, Tyler O'Brien. Batting fourth at third base, number 20, Andrew McDonald. Batting fifth, the second baseman, number 11, Joseph Davio. Batting sixth and pitching, number 21, Nathan Chappell. Batting seventh, the catcher, number 18, Isaiah Adamson. Batting eighth in right field, number 7, Eddie Hall. And batting ninth for post 11 in center field, number 23, Tyler Nill. For the Berkeley Post 14 Hornets, leading off in center field, number 7, Jordan Canby. Batting second base, number 4, Landon Sifford. Batting third and doing the catching, number 9, Cam Moore. Batting fourth, the shortstop, number 2, J.J. Pavanelli. Batting fifth at third base, number 11, Braden Oviedo. Batting sixth, the designated hitter, number 17, Braden Edwards. Batting seventh at first base, number 12, Riley Morgan. Batting eighth, left fielder, number 13, Michael Poltar. Batting ninth in right field, number 6, Cole Lewis. On the mound for the Berkeley Post 14 Hornets is number 1, Jet Gross. Again, behind him doing the catching is number 9, Cam Moore. That's your starting battery, brought to you by Cody's Auto Body at 851 Wilson Street in Martinsburg. Call 304-901-4777 or visit their Facebook page. Both teams tonight in blue uniforms for Berkeley Post 14. They got the blue hats with the white 14 on the front and the red bill. For Frederick Post 11, they have red hats with a blue bill and then the gray pants for the road team, the white pants for the home team in Berkeley Post 14. So we're live at P.O. Faulkner Park. Let's get our weather now. Brought to you by CMA's Martinsburg and Winchester dealerships. Proud to be the owners who just care more. 78 degrees, sunny skies here in Martinsburg. Another beautiful day for baseball. As it looks like the warm-ups just about to end with the final warm-up pitch from Jet Gross, followed by the throw to second from Cam Moore. Now we'll see Dysinger for Frederick Post 11 step up to lead things off. First pitch will be brought to you by the Mirius Group and Ameriprise Financial Advisors, John Everson and Phil McCoy. Stop by 1270 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg or call 304-263-4343. Top of the first inning is brought to you by Brown Funeral Home and Cremations, Robert Fields and Sons, proudly serving our area since 1880. Now that all that's out of the way, it's time for some American Legion baseball. Colin McLaughlin here for Talk Radio WRNR TV 10. On-site producers Cade Miller. Back at the studios, Nick Verzolini. Jet Gross first pitch to Dysinger. Just misses outside for ball one. First pitch coming a few minutes early at 6:58. Right before here it turns to 6:59. 1-0 from Gross. Fastball misses in to Dysinger for ball two. Dysinger, shortstop for Frederick. That's on the right-handed side. Up in the count 2-0. He lets the next one go by, and it's called a strike from Jet Gross. The count now 2 balls and 1 strike here in the top of the first for the leadoff batter for post 11. Jet Gross sets. Kick in the 2-1 delivery. Catches the inside corner and called strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes now. Dysinger adjusts his helmet, steps back in, chokes up a little bit on his bat. Gross gets the call from Cam Moore. The windup in the 2-2 pitch. Groundered right to the first baseman, Riley Morgan, and he's going to walk his way over, step on the first base bag for out number 1. Now up to bat will be Abrecht with 1 out and nobody on for post 11. Abrecht, another righty. Here against Gross, who's straddling that bump on the mound. First pitch called a strike. Jet standing right on the edge of the bump on the pitcher's mound to his right, our left, for those tuned in on TV. And a breaking ball swung on and missed for strike 2. Abrecht way ahead with that swing. Now behind 0-2 with 1 out. Gross sets the windup and the 0-2. Called strike 3. Caught looking is Abrecht for out number 2. That pitch fooled him. First strikeout for Jet Gross. Now 2 down. Scoreless top of the first. Up to bat will be O'Brien, the first baseman. Tyler O'Brien steps up here for Frederick. Big first baseman on the righty side. And he sends the first pitch into left field. Backing up on it is Poltar, and it's off his glove and then off the wall. Rounding second. Thinking about 3 is O'Brien, but he's going to stay at second. It's a 2-out stand-up double for the first baseman of Frederick post 11. He sent that one on a rope, and Poltar was playing slightly in there and left. Had to backtrack as quick as he could. Reached up with his glove, just didn't reach up enough. Tapped off his glove and then 1 hop to the wall in front of the scoreboard. To now McDonald up for Frederick post 11. 2 out. A runner in scoring position here in the top of the first. Gross sets for Berkeley post 14. Checks the runner behind him. The windup in the pitch to McDonald. Misses outside. It's ball 1. Moore throws the ball back to his pitcher. Immediately gets set and ready to go here as Gross tries to work quickly against McDonald. 1-0 pitch. Low for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes to McDonald. Frederick 2-1 on the year. Berkeley post 14 5-1. It's a 9-1 win for the Hornets yesterday. 2-0, big swing and a miss from McDonald. As he chases one outside for a strike, so the count now 2 balls, 1 strike. 2 outs, top of the first. Runner on second for Frederick post 11, trying to score. Jack Gross trying to keep the runner at bay. 2-1. Breaking ball swung on and missed by McDonald for strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes now to McDonald. Gross tries to get Berkeley post 14 out of the top. Unscathed. 2-2. Upstairs for ball 3. So the count now runs full to McDonald. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs, scoreless between Frederick post 11 and Berkeley post 14 in the top of the first. Runner on second. Bryan takes his lead. The payoff pitch, swing and a miss for McDonald. Strike 3. Second strikeout in the top of the first by Jet Gross. Strains the runner after his stand-up double We'll head to the bottom of the first. It's Frederick Post 11-0, Berkeley Post 14-0. This is American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. We're back in 1 minute.
My kids, you know I want the best for you, don't you? We need to have a conversation.
End-of-life planning is no one's favorite discussion, but the relief of having everything in place when the hour of need arrives is a gift. Give it to your family. Plan ahead with us.
Brown Funeral Homes, a leading provider of cremations, invites you to explore the many flexible options of cremation. From environmental considerations to the benefit of greatly reduced cost, it may be the perfect answer for your family. Online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
Insurance companies like to play games. They say they're on your side, but they aren't. We have a team that can handle any curveball they throw. At Burke, Schultz, Harmon, and Jenkinson, you get a dedicated lawyer, and every case gets a team effort. So you get nearly 150 combined years of experience going to bat for you. And we like to win. Join the team that takes your personal injury case seriously. Burke, Schultz, Harmon, and Jenkinson. We play hardball.
Welcome back to P.O. Faulkner Park. We are headed to the bottom of the first inning, which is brought to you by Orsini's Home Store, not just an appliance store any longer. Visit them at 360 Hack Wilson Way in Martinsburg or online at orsinis.com. Bottom of the first, Berkeley Post 14 comes to the plate, scoreless against Frederick Post 11 after two quick outs for Post 11, followed by a two-out stand-up double, but then Jet Gross was able to get Berkeley Post 14 out of the inning, leave the runner stranded, and now it's the Hornets' turn to come up to the plate against Nathan Chappell, who's on the mound for Frederick. Defensively, Frederick is Isaiah Adamson behind the plate. In the infield, it goes Tyler O'Brien at first, Joseph Davio at second, John Dysinger at short. Third baseman is Andrew McDonald. Then from left to right in the outfield, it's Garrison Abrecht, Tyler Nill, and Eddie Hall. Leading things off for Berkeley Post 14 will be the center fielder, number 7, Jordan Canby. Canby ready to go, stepping in on the right-hander side. First pitch from Chappell in the bottom of the first. Slightly up and inside, misses for ball one. So 1-0 to the leadoff batter for Post 14 and Canby. Here comes the 1-0, and this one, it's in front of home plate on the turf. The count now 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes. Pitch from Chappell. Check swing that's fouled off by Canby. So the count now 2 balls and 1 strike. Goes Canby, Sifford, and Moore. 1, 2, 3 in the lineup. Pominelli, Oviedo, Edwards is the 4-5-6 for Berkeley Post 14. Then Morgan, Poltar, Lewis is in the 7-8-9. 2-1 hits Canby. And the leadoff batter will head down to first. Canby now makes his way down the first base line. We know he has some speed, so we'll see how aggressive Berkeley Post 14 is on the base paths early in the bottom of the first. Now up the bat, Landon Sifford. Pitch from Chappell. Big swing and a miss from Sifford for strike 1. Chappell gets the ball back from Adamson, now sets. Looks over his shoulder at the runner, and Canby, who has a pretty big lead over at first. The 0-1 stays high. It's a ball, so the count now 1-1 to Sifford. Chappell working on finding his location. Not much behind the velo. Runner goes on the 1-1. Pitch inside for a ball. The throw from Adamson to second. Off the glove of Davio, so Canby in safely. Nobody out. The count now 2 balls and 1 strike to Sifford. Canby's former teammate at Martinsburg. Now runner in scoring position. Infield corners in for Frederick Post 11. Middle of the infield at normal depth, trying to hold Canby at second. 2-1 inside, almost hits Sifford. Count now 3-1. Sifford playing second base today for Berkeley Post 14. See him at catcher sometimes as well. Today that's Cam Moore's job, who's on deck for the Hornets. Chappell sets, turns around, throws, and off the glove of Dysinger, the shortstop, who actually lost his glove. The ball goes into center field. Tyler Nill throws it in, but easily. Canby takes third on the error by Nathan Chappell. The first error of the evening for Frederick Post 11 and Berkeley Post 14 now. It's the first run of the night, potentially 90 feet away. 3 balls, 1 strike, nobody out. Pitch to Sifford, and it's lined in between shortstop and third into left field. It's an RBI single for Landon Sifford, and Berkeley Post 14 will take a 1-0 lead over Frederick Post 11 here in the bottom of the first. So the Hornets working quickly, getting the runner and Canby on with the hit by pitch. Stole second and took third on a throwing error on a pickoff attempt. Sifford now with an RBI single, standing over at first, and Cam Moore up to bat, still nobody out. Pitch from Chappell to Moore, outside for ball 1. Cam, a lefty, here against Chappell. Sifford takes his lead at first. 1-0 pitch. It's a high fly ball into right center field from Moore. Hustling his way to the wall is Nill. It goes off the wall and takes a hop into the middle of the infield. Sifford rounding third, coming home to score. The ball's just now picked up, and Moore's going to stop at third. It's a stand-up RBI triple by Cam Moore. Post 14 now leads Post 11 2-0 in the bottom of the first inning. That was an absolute bullet by Cam Moore into right center. Hit just underneath the Mamba Collections logo on the wall. And as soon as it hit that new wall in the outfield, took off like a bullet off Cam Moore's bat back into the middle of the outfield and dead center. J.J. Pavanelli, first pitch swinging. That's a high fly ball into left. And it's off the wall at Orsini's. Coming home to score is Cam Moore. Now it's 3-0. Stand-up double for Pavanelli. Timeout called. Isaiah Adamson going to go talk with his pitcher, Nathan Chappell, calming him down after 3 straight hits for Berkeley Post 14, a single, a triple, and a double. It's 3-0 in the bottom of the first. Now up to bat, Braden Oviedo. Ovi is senior in Martinsburg this year. Led in almost every category offensively for the Bulldogs. There's still nobody out in the bottom of the first. The pitch from Chappell. Breaking ball that misses outside for ball 1. Adamson took off the face mask, had to drop down and just let that pitch hit him in the chest to keep it in front of him and keep their runner, Pavanelli, at second. JJ takes a big lead over at second. Chappell looks behind him. Now the 1-0 pitch to Oviedo in the turf for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. The starter for Frederick Post 11 facing some early adversity here at P.O. Faulkner Park. Chappell gets the signal from his catcher in Adamson. Sats in the 2-0 at the knees of Oviedo and called a strike, so the count now 2-1. Ovi steps back in, opens up his stance just a little bit on the righty side. Pavanelli at second takes his lead. Chappell sets on the rubber. The 2-1 is lined in between shortstop and third into left. Pominelli gets the signal to round third and head for home as the ball was bobbled by Abrecht, and it's 4-0. Berkeley post 14 now in the bottom of the first, extending its lead over Frederick post 11. RBI single for Oviedo, the fourth straight hit for the Hornets. Now a timeout will be called for a full mound visit for Frederick post 11. It's 4-0. Bottom of the first, still nobody out. It's all 5 Hornets that have stepped up to the plate have reached base. It was Camby that was hit by a pitch, and Sifford had an RBI single, Moore with an RBI triple, Pominelli with an RBI double, and now Oviedo with an RBI single, which will bring up the designated hitter, Braden Edwards. Edwards, only a sophomore this year from Martinsburg High, did the catching for the Bulldogs. The lefty steps up to the plate. Mound visit has concluded. Chappell sets the pitch to Edwards, fouled off over to the left and out of play for strike one. Looks like we have some action early in the Frederick post 11 bullpen down the first baseline. Try to see who that is after this pitch. No balls, one strike. Chappell's pitch to Edwards. Blooped into left. Backing up is Abrecht. He now has to run forward and he'll make the catch for the first out in the bottom of the first. Now that'll bring up Riley Morgan for the Hornets. Morgan, the first baseman today. One out, runner at first, and Oviedo. I believe that might be Lewis James warming up, as a first pitch swinging is Morgan. He grounds into a 6-4-3 double play to end the inning. So a runner gets stranded, but it's still a 4-run inning for Berkeley post 14 on 4 hits and an error. So the Hornets 4, Frederick post 11 nothing. We'll head to the top of the second on the other side of this 1-minute break. This is American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Welcome to CMA's Honda of Winchester, where you can drive an award-winning lineup of new and certified pre-owned Hondas, Accords, Civics, CRVs, HRVs, and more at CMA's Honda of Winchester. Owners just care more. Welcome to CMA's Honda of Winchester, where you can drive an award-winning lineup of new and certified pre-owned Hondas, Accords, Civics, CRVs, HRVs, and more at CMA's Honda of Winchester. Owners just care more.
One of the questions lawyers get asked the most is, what is my case worth?
I'm Steven Skinner, and this is my brother Andrew with Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers.
The truth is, it's very difficult for a lawyer to pinpoint a number because every case is different.
We get to know each situation and we'll give you an idea of what your case is worth and why.
The sooner we get involved, the better we can do getting you the compensation you deserve.
Google Skinner Lawyers or go to skinnerwins.com. We'll treat you like family.
We welcome you back here to P.O. Faulkner Park in Martinsburg, West Virginia. Top of the second inning brought to you by the Heffley Motor Company, located at 993 Hedgesville Road in Martinsburg. A nice place to do business. It is Berkeley post 14 leading Frederick post 11 after 1, 4-0. Due up in the top of the second for Frederick. The 5, 6, 7 batters, Davio, Chappell, Adamson against Jet Gross. Gross struck out 2 in the first. Gave up 1 hit on 15 pitches, 10 of them for strikes. First pitch, Davio misses for ball 1 to start the top of the second. One-0. Fastball called a strike at the knees. Count now 1-1. Here to Joseph Davio. Colin McLaughlin here. On-site producer is Cade Miller. Back at the studios, Nick Verzolini. 1-1, softly grounded over to the third base side. Oviedo scoops it up, throws to first for out number 1 as Davio kind of stumbled his way out of the gates. 5-3 grounder. Start off the top of the second. Now up to bat for Frederick Post 11. Nathan Chappell, who let the dogs out here at P.O. Faulkner Park. No, it's the home of the Bulldogs, but some trickery over in the sound system with the dog barking. It's 4-0. Berkeley Post 14. Hornets lead Frederick Post 11. It's Chappell. Step up to the plate. Big righty against Jet Gross. Wind up in the pitch from Gross. Misses in for ball 1 to Chappell. This is pitch number 20 for Jet Gross. It's the 1-0. High for ball 2 to Chappell. Seen that now, I believe, 3 times for Jet against Frederick. Starting off 2-0, but he's been able to work his way back. As this one catches the inside part of the plate for a strike, so the count now 2-1. As Jet continues to work quickly out on the mound. 1 out, nobody on. 2-1 pitch, fouled straight back by Chappell, so the count 2-2. Just like that, it's back to a pitcher's count. New baseball given out to Jet from home plate umpire. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Chappell. Kick and the delivery. Popped over the net, out of play. Count remains 2-2 for Chappell. I'll step back in. Gross will set. It's the pitch call from Cam Morris, catcher. Another 2-2. Breaking ball, swing and a miss from Chappell for strike 3. It's out number 2 in the top of the second, and a 3rd strikeout of the night for Jet Gross. Now up to bats the catcher for Frederick, Isaiah Adamson. Adamson steps into the right-handed box. Wind up, kick, and delivery from Jet Gross. Catches the inside corner for strike 1. Jet gets the ball back. Sets, takes a deep breath. Turns, wind up, kick, and the pitch. Big swing and a miss for strike 2 from Adamson. He was fooled on the breaking ball from Gross, which has been pretty gross today with the break. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Pitch. Skips and takes the mask off the catcher, Cam Moore. He'll take his time going to get it. I'll check to see if Cam's okay. He is, as he puts the face mask back on. Followed by his catcher's mitt and then squats back down. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Adamson. Pitch from Gross. Inside almost hits Adamson. It's ball 2. Berkeley Post 14 leads 4-0 against Frederick Post 11. Here in the top half of our second inning. 7 played today. 2-2. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts. And the top of the second. 3 up, 3 down goes Frederick Post 11, keeping it 4-0 Berkeley Post 14 on top. We'll step aside, take a 1-minute break, and then be back for the bottom half of the inning. This is American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. Not sure where to go or who to trust with your flooring project? And start with Trips Flooring, proudly serving the area for more than 25 years, specializing in floor sanding and refinishing, along with installation of new flooring, including hardwood, tile, vinyl, laminate, carpet, and the hottest trend in flooring, luxury vinyl, tile, and luxury vinyl plank. Are you on a budget? Check out their warehouse, cash and carry, or call 304-229-7009, or visit them online at tripsfloorsanding.com.
I do.
We got double the Rock's gas rewards, 6 cents off a gallon.
I can't believe you didn't fill up.
That's double my rent. Not my car.
Save now with double the gas discount. 6 cents off a gallon with Rox Rewards.
We got double the Rox gas rewards. 6 cents off a gallon.
You had one job!
It's between girls.
Save now with double the gas discount. 6 cents off a gallon with Rox Rewards.
We welcome you back to P.O. Faulkner Park as we enter the bottom of the second inning, which is brought to you by the Berkeley County Health Department. Prevent, Promote, Protect, offering public, clinical, and environmental services at 122 Waverly Court in Martinsburg. Berkeley Post 14, for those just now tuning in, leads Frederick Post 11 by a score of 4-0. Due up the 8-9-1 spots in the lineup for the Hornets: Poltar, Lewis, and then Canby. In the bottom of the first, it was 4 runs on 4 hits and 1 error for Berkeley Post 14 against Frederick Post 11. Now we'll see what the bottom of the lineup can do as Michael Poltar steps up against Nathan Chappell. Chappell sets in the first pitch. Big swing and a miss from Poltar for strike 1. Poltar steps out, takes a deep breath, and steps back in on the righty side. This one he'll foul over into his dugout for strike 2 on the third base side. No balls, 2 strikes. The 8 batter in the lineup for the Hornets, and Poltar. Chappell gets a new ball, sets, turns the kick and the pitch. Breaking ball, trying to get Poltar to chase outside, and he doesn't. It's a ball, so count 1-2. Adamson gets a new baseball from the umpire as that one hit the turf. We'll give it to Chappell. Chappell at 22 pitches now as this one fouled off the inside part of the bat of Poltar, hits the net and almost ricochets back and towards the umpire. So the count stays at 1-2. Chappell on the mound for Frederick. Gets the pitch from Adamson, and now here comes that 1-2 pitch. It's upstairs for a ball, so count 2-2 to Poltar. Poltar steps back in. 2-2 delivery. Breaking ball. That almost got Poltar to chase, but he's able to keep the bat back. It's outside. Count now 3-2. Have Cole Lewis on deck. 3 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out, bottom of the second. Post 14, 4. Post 11, nothing. Payoff pitch, and going around on the swing is Poltar for strike 3. That's out number 1. That'll bring up Cole Lewis. 1 out, nobody on. That's the first strikeout of the night for Nathan Chappell for Frederick Post 11. Now here's Lewis for the first time. Fastball high and in for ball 1 to Lewis. Lewis playing in right field for the Hornets tonight. Chappell sets. 1-0. High for ball 2 to Lewis. Two balls, no strikes. Chappell sets. The delivery. Hit by Lewis into center field. Playable by the center fielder Tyler Nill. Will make the catch for out number 2. Now we head to the top of the lineup, which started that 4-run inning in the bottom of the first. Canby got hit by a pitch, then stole second. Reached third on an error on a pickoff attempt by Chappell. Came home to score on Sifford's RBI, the first of 4 straight hits. First pitch from Chappell to Canby. Canby lets go by, and it's a breaking ball called strike one. Bottom of the second, nobody on the 0-1 to Canby. Hits him again. Second time today, Canby has been hit by a pitch, and he'll jog his way down to first base. And we remember from his high school career, Canby, for some reason or another, seemed like always got hit by a pitch. And after this one, I feel like I might need to tell him he might as well just get a tattoo of a bullseye on his arm at this rate. It looks like that will be the end for Nathan Chappell. So we'll step aside, take a 30-second break for a pitching change. It's Berkeley Post 14 4, Frederick Post 11 0. 30-second break. This is American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Mommy, where does flavor come from?
Well, when people love food, they cook it on a Traeger grill. Meat, corn, even pie. And then the Traeger does the rest, which brings everyone to celebrate this beautiful thing that they've created. Because when you share delicious food with your friends, that's the flavor of life.
Shop now and save at Orsini's today.
Welcome back to P.O. Faulkner Park. New pitcher for Frederick Post 11. It looks like now on the mound is number 16, Lewis James. It's a short night for the starter and Nathan Chappell, going 1 2/3. Day not done, as the runner at first would be charged to him if Canby does come home to score. See if there's any other defensive changes or if it's just a straight swap between Chappell and Lewis James. Colin McLaughlin here, flying solo for Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10 here this Wednesday night at P.O. Faulkner. Our on-site producers, Cade Miller. Back at the studio is Nick Verzolini. Lewis James getting a few more warm-up pitches for Frederick. And up the bat will be Landon Sifford for a second time tonight. Sifford, second base for the Hornets. 1 for 1 today with an RBI single. We're ready to resume action here in the bottom of the second. James sets. Looks at Canby over at first. Here's the windup in the first pitch to Sifford. Breaking ball that catches inside for strike one. No balls and one strike to Sifford. James checks over at the runner. Now ready to go with the 0-1 pitch. It's a fastball that's lined by Sifford, down for a hit in left center. And it's a single again here for Sifford tonight. He's got 2 of them. Canby goes over to second with 2 outs. Now up to bat is Cam Moore. Moore had a RBI triple in his first at bat. That was a rocket into right center. Now before Cam Moore steps up, Isaiah Adamson has a few words for his new pitcher, Lewis James. James ready to go back on the mound against the lefty and Cam Moore. Runners on first and second. 4-0, Post 14 leads. Now pick off over towards second, trying to get Canby. He slides back in head first safely. You have 2 out here in the bottom half of the second inning as well. James sets. Looks like Canby behind him. Pitch to Cam Moore. Misses outside for ball 1. Sifford at first for the Hornets. Can be at second. Moore up the bat. 1 ball, no strikes to Cam. Lewis James on the mound for Frederick Post 11. 1-0 pitch. It's high for ball 2. On decks, J.J. Pavanelli. 2-0 count to Moore. Here's the 2-0. It's high for ball 3. James being very careful here against Moore. We'll see if Cam Moore has a green light or not, as last night a few guys swung at a 3-0, made some contacts. Now stepping off and trying to pick off Camby at second was Lewis James, but no throw this time, as Camby was ready to quickly get back to the bag. Again, 3 balls, no strikes, 2 outs, runners on first and second. Pitch outside to Moore. It's 4 straight balls, and now the bases are loaded here in the bottom of the second for Berkeley Post 14. And that'll bring J.J. Palminelli up to bat for the Hornets. Looks like we will have a courtesy runner for the catcher, Cam Moore. Trying to see who that is. I believe it was Grant Henderson out at first base now. He had a fantastic night yesterday on the pitcher's mound for Berkeley Post 14. Again, bases loaded. Palminelli up the bat. The pitch. Big swing and a miss. It's through the legs of Adamson. Camby coming home, and he scores. 5-0 now. Berkeley Post 14 leads on the pass ball through the legs of Adamson. Camby comes home to score to make it 5-0. Sifford goes from second to third. Then you have Henderson, courtesy runner for Moore from first to second. No balls, 1 strike to Palminelli. 5-0 lead. Lewis sets. And the pitch misses low for a ball, so count 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. And the pitch. Hard grounder, foul to the left. Count now 1-2. Palminelli. Palminelli 1 for 1 today, an RBI double in the bottom of the first. Scored the 3 of 4 runs in that bottom half of the inning. And here in the bottom of the second, Berkeley Post 14's already added 1 and trying to get another. But this is a called strike 3 as Palminelli goes down looking from a breaking ball of Lewis James to end the inning in strand 2. So it'll remain Berkeley Post 14 5, Frederick Post 11 0 after 2. We're headed to the third on the other side of this 1-minute break. This is American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Life is evolving. Over the past decade, the way we do almost everything has changed. Get on your phone, see something you like, click on it, and it shows up at your door. Why should the way you have your car serviced be any different? Why waste your time going to a dealership service department when Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet will come to you? They service all makes, all models, and offer full parts and labor warranties. Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet will come to your door or office and service your vehicle while you're doing what you need to be doing, conducting that business meeting or mowing the lawn. Why take time out of your busy schedule when you don't have to? Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet's friendly, knowledgeable staff will come to you where you live or where you work for full service maintenance, from oil changes to tire rotations, brakes, batteries, multi-point inspections. They handle it all. Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet is committed to delivering the best of the best to their customers. Trust them to service your vehicle where you're at home or at work. Skip the time-consuming and terminal wait at the dealership. Schedule your appointment at fordofhagerstown.com or hancockchevy.com.
We welcome you back here as we enter the top of the third inning, brought to you by the Dutch Miller Automotive Group, home of friends and family pricing, it is Post 14-5. Frederick Post 11-0 after 2 innings. Final line for Nathan Chappell, the starter for Frederick. He went 1 2/3 innings, gave up 4 hits, 5 runs, 4 of them earned, had a strikeout, no walks, but did hit 2 batters, both being Jordan Canby. Now here we go, the 8-9-1 batters up, and first pitch swinging is that 8th batter in the lineup in Hall, and he pops it up to left field, and right underneath it is Poltar for out number 1. So 1 pitch, 1 out to start off the top of the 3rd. Now up to bat will be Tyler Nill after Eddie Hall quickly retired. Nill ready against Jet Gross. Wind up and the pitch from Gross. Misses outside on the fastball for ball 1. Now here's the 1-0. Breaking ball low for ball 2. Nill thought about it, but decided at the last second not to swing. He was correct not to for ball 2. Now here's the 2-0. And that's a strike on the outside corner. Should count 2-1. Jet Gross wipes the sweat off before the next pitch. Here's the 2-1 to Nill. And it's a swing and a miss for strike 2. Gross steps back on the rubber on the mound. 1 out. Nobody on. Top of the 3rd, 5-0. Berkeley Post 14 leads Frederick Post 11. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Nill. The pitch from Gross. 2 hopper to the second baseman, Landon Sifford. In the short outfield, he's able to scoop it up, make the play over to first for out number 2, as he was right on the edge of the infield turf making that play. 2 outs now here in the top of the 3rd. And up to bat is the shortstop, John Dysinger. Gross, first pitch to Dysinger here in his second at-bat is strike 1. Dysinger grounded out to the first baseman. First time up, so he's 0 for 1 tonight. The 0-1 from Jet. Outside for a ball to even up the count at 1 apiece. So far, only 1 hit today for Frederick, Post 11. That was the 2-out double by O'Brien in the first. As this pitch inside to Dysinger, it's ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Or excuse me, 1 strike and 2 out. Here's the 2-1. And that's strike 2. Count now even at 2-2. Dysinger and Gross ready to go. 2-2. Gross trying to get Dysinger to chase. He didn't, so the count now runs full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. You have 2 out, nobody on. For Post 11. Line up in the payoff pitch. That is line to center field. Canby hustles over and makes the catch. As again, Frederick Post 11 will go 3 up, 3 down. Back-to-back innings and keeping it at Berkeley Post 14-5. Frederick Post 11-0. We'll step aside, take a 1-minute break, then head to the bottom of the 3rd. This is American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Summer starts here at CMA's Toyota of Martinsburg. We've got a great selection of your favorite Toyota models on our lot with over 80 new vehicles in stock. Right now, get up to $3,000 off MSRP on a new 2024 Camry. Or check out a new 2024 Tundra and get up to $4,500 off MSRP. And every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care and our lifetime powertrain warranty. Visit us online at cmastoyotaofmartinsburg.com, where owners just care more.
Panhandle Printing and Design is your full-service local print shop.
With over 50 years of combined experience, we know how to handle all of your printing and design needs.
We can handle anything, from small business cards to wrapping large vehicles. Our in-house design team can do it all. As a staple of this community, we love helping people promote their events, businesses, and anything they're passionate about. Envision, create, and bring your ideas to life with Panhandle Printing and Design.
We welcome you back here at P.O. Faulkner Park for American Legion Baseball. Bottom of the third inning is brought to you by the team at Century 21 Modern Realty Results. If you're looking for a home in the tri-state area, they have you covered. Oviedo, Edwards, Morgan, the 5, 6, 7 batters in Berkeley Post 14's lineup are due up in the bottom of the third as the Hornets lead 5-0 here against Frederick Post 11. Berkeley Post 14 junior team improved to 14-0 on the season earlier with a 11-1 victory against the Maryland J-Bats, the 16U team, before this one here at PO today. First pitch to Oviedo is a breaking ball called strike one from Lewis James to begin the bottom of the third. OV with an RBI single his last time up. Pops this one over to the right side in shallow right field. Running in is Eddie All. He makes the catch for out number one. That brings up the designated hitter in Braden Edwards. Edwards 0 for 1 today. He had a opposite field fly ball to left that was caught for an out. Looking for some redemption here against Lewis. Takes the first pitch. It's inside for ball one. Lewis James on the mound. Came in after Nathan Chappell. One ball, no strikes, one out. Bottom of the third, the pitch. Misses outside for ball two to Edwards. Edwards ahead in the count. Here comes the 2-0. It's hard grounder down the first baseline and fair and easily out number two as Tyler O'Brien picks it up off the turf, steps on the bag. 5 pitches with 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the third. Now up the bat for Berkeley Post 14's Riley Morgan. Morgan had contact on one pitch his first time up. Unfortunately, it was a 6-4-3 twin killer to end the bottom of the first. First pitch from James, low for ball one. Morgan, close stance on the right side. Sends it opposite field, but it's foul over on the first base side. First strike. 1 ball, 1 strike now. Morgan adjusts his batting gloves before stepping back in. Here against Lewis James. One pitch, breaking ball, and it's a fly ball opposite field. Hall already underneath it in right, and he'll make the catch as 3 up, 3 down goes Berkeley Post 14 here in the bottom of the third, keeping it Hornets 5 and Frederick Post 11-0. So we're headed to the fourth after this 1-minute break. This is American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Life is evolving. Over the past decade, the way we do almost everything has changed. Get on your phone, see something you like, click on it, and it shows up at your door. Why should the way you have your car serviced be any different? Why waste your time going to a dealership service department when Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet will come to you? They service all makes, all models, and offer full parts and labor warranties. Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet will come to your door or office and service your vehicle while you're doing what you need to be doing, conducting that business meeting or mowing the lawn. Why take time out of your busy schedule when you don't have to? Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet's friendly, knowledgeable staff will come to you where you live or where you work for full service maintenance, from oil changes to tire rotations, brakes, batteries, multi-point inspections. They handle it all. Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet is committed to delivering the best of the best to their customers. Trust them to service your vehicle where you're at home or at work. Skip the time-consuming and terminal wait at the dealership. Schedule your appointment at fordofhagerstown.com or hancockchevy.com.
Welcome back to P.O. Faulkner Park. We've played 3 innings of American Legion baseball already. It's Berkeley Post 14-5, Frederick Post 11-0. So we end to the top of the 4th, which is brought to you by Farmers and Mechanics Insurance. Reliable coverage since 1877. Call 304-263-0809 for a quote today, or visit them at fmiwv.com. I'm Colin McLaughlin for Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. Cade Miller is our on-site producer. Back at the studio is Nick Verzolini. 2, 3, 4 batters are due up for Frederick Post 11 in the 4th. Abrecht, O'Brien, McDonald. Jet Gross continues out on the mound for Berkeley Post 14. So far, through 3 innings, struck out 4. This first pitch, high for a ball. One-0. Popped up to the right. Over near the fence is Riley Morgan in foul territory, but he's unable to make the catch. He ran too deep towards the fence, and the ball changed directions and landed behind him. So the count 1-1. Abrecht ready to go after that foul ball. Here's the wind-up and the pitch from Gross. That's a swing and a miss for a strike, so the count 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes. Gross trying to get strikeout number 5 of the night. Wind up and the pitch. Tried to get him to chase. It's outside. Abrecht does not go for it, so the count 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. This pitch inside. It's ball 3. 3-2 is the count. Abrecht ready for the pitch from Gross. Here's the payoff pitch, and it's grounded off the foot of Abrecht, so it's dead, keeping the count full at 3-2. Abrecht, the leadoff batter here in the 4th for Frederick. He struck out looking his last time up in the 1st. Three balls, 2 strikes. A 3-2 called strike 3 for out number 1. Abrecht goes down looking again for out number 1 here in the 4th. Now up to bat, Tyler O'Brien. O'Brien, last time up, reached second, which, looking at game changer, was actually ruled an error by Poltar and left as it hit off his glove. Takes the first pitch, up and in for a ball from Gross. He'll foul this one out of play. Count 1-1. Gross now at 50 pitches exactly after that foul ball by O'Brien. Here comes pitch 51. The 1-1 misses low for ball 2 to O'Brien. So 2 balls, 1 strike. 1 out, nobody on here in the top of the 4th. O'Brien steps back in. way back in the right-handed batter's box. And he sends a liner down for a base hit into left. And that's a single for O'Brien. There is officially the first hit of the night for Frederick post 11. No matter how you look at it. That'll bring up McDonald. McDonald struck out swinging his last time up. You have one out, now the runner on first. Gross on the mound for Berkeley post 14. Looks over at the runner. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss from McDonald for strike one. McDonald steps back in here against Gross. Bryan at first takes his lead, being held close by Morgan. 1 inside at strike two. No balls, 2 strikes now to McDonald. Gross looks over at the runner now. Here comes the 0-2 pitch, and it's a swing and a miss for strike 3. McDonald down on 3 straight pitches for out number 2. It's the second strikeout of this inning, 6 in total for Jet Gross. Bring up Davio. 2 out, runner on. It's O'Brien at first here in the top of the 4th. Gross sets. There's the first pitch to Davio. It misses for ball 1 upstairs. Gross goes with the fastball first. Now pick off over to first, and safely is O'Brien. So 1 ball, no strike. Gross gets the pitch from his catcher, Cam Moore. Sets in the 1-0 delivery. Swing and a miss as Davio chases low. The count now 1-1. He's not happy with himself after chasing that breaking ball. He'll step back in. Open up his stance. It's ready for the 1-1. Pitch. Lined right back up the middle. It's down for a single to keep this inning alive for Frederick post 11. Second hit of the inning for post 11, both of them singles. Now up to bat will be the pitcher, Lewis James. It's James' first at bat. So he came in the second inning for Nathan Chappell. Pitch from Gross to James, swing and a miss for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. It's Berkeley post 14, 5. Frederick post 11, nothing. Post 11, though, has runners at first and second here in the top half of the 4th inning. Swing and a miss, it's strike 2 to James. Another breaking ball from Jet Gross. He's now 1 strike away from striking out the side. Gross sets, trying to squint through the sun as the shade playing tricks on him. Shadows as well, as this one fouled off. Count 0-2. You can see the shadows kind of creeping over the infield from the left as the sun sets. Still no balls, 2 strikes and 2 outs. Gross shakes off the pitch calls from Moore, now gets one he likes, sets. And here's the 0-2 pitch. It's inside for a ball, so the count 1-2 to James. You have Davio at first, O'Brien at second for Frederick, post 11. Both runners take their respected leads. Right now, though, Jet Gross just focused on the batter, and Lewis James. Here's the 1-2. It's low for a ball. Moore keeps it in front of him. Now picks it up. Thinks about throwing it, but instead just gives it back to his pitcher as both base runners go back to first and second. 2-2 count to James now. Yeah. Adjusts his hat. Now rests on the rubber. He'll step off. He wipes the sweat off his face before going back on the rubber on the mound. And 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 2 runners on, top of the 4th. Pitch from Gross. Swing and a miss. James down, swinging. Jet Gross strikes out the side, now has 7 strikeouts tonight. He strands 2 runners after the first 2 hits he gives up, and it remains Berkeley Post 14-5, Frederick Post 11-0. Step aside, take a 1-minute break. This is American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
I pre-planned my funeral to make it easier on my family. They were relieved to know I'll get just what I want.
My family actually thanked me for taking matters into my own hands. Turns out having this awkward conversation wasn't awkward at all.
Pre-planning is my choice. There are certain things about me my family may not know. Now they won't need to guess.
The choices are yours. The peace of mind is theirs. Pre-plan your funeral with Brown Funeral Homes and everything will be taken care of. Find out more online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
I pre-planned my funeral to make it easier on my family.
After a car accident, what do you get when you call Mansion Ferretti?
You get more experience from a local law firm with over 115 years of combined service.
More respect from a team who treats clients like their own family.
And more fight, because we want you to get every dollar you deserve.
Experience, respect, results. If you've been injured, that's what you want in your lawyer.
And that's what you'll get when you call us. Car accident? Get more with Mansion Ferretti. 304-264-8505.
Shucker's Crab Shack, located at 1014 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg. If you don't like it, shuck it up, Buttercup, as Berkeley Post 14-5, Frederick Post 11-0 is our score. Due up for the Berkeley Post 14 Hornets will be the 891 hitters, Poltar, Lewis, Canby. Lewis James still out on the mound for Frederick Post 11. Last warm-up pitch is done. Here comes Poltar. Poltar 0 for 1. He had a pretty good battle his time up. He faced 7 pitches, but struck out swinging. Here's the pitch, and he swings through the first one from Lewis James. A beautiful breaking ball that fools Poltar for strike 1. And Poltar bend the knee there, chasing that one, trying to golf it for a hit. James sets. The 0-1 pitch to Poltar. Outside the count, now 1-1. James. 1-1 count to Poltar. Here's the wind-up kick and pitch. And it's a breaking ball that misses outside the count, now 2-1 to Poltar. Poltar steps out. That's one practice swing before stepping back in on the right-handed side. Count at 2-1 to lead things off in the bottom of the 4th. Here's the pitch. It's outside off the glove of Adamson to the backstop. Count now 3-1. Haven't seen many walks today. You have 1 base on balls, 2 batters hit by pitches, and that's it. Here's a 3-1. It's high for ball 4, so there's the second base on balls issued tonight. That'll bring up Cole Lewis for Post 14. And actually, it looks like we'll have a pinch hitter for the Hornets, as coming in is Christian Alter in for Lewis, the right fielder, so expect Alter to be out and right here after this. Is the first pitch. A line down the first baseline off the glove of O'Brien, and behind him he's able to pick it up, though, and step on the bag for the out. Poltar advances to second on the fielder's choice. Not much of a choice after O'Brien had it hit off his glove, but he's still able to get the out. So now 1 out, runner at second. Jordan Canby up the bat for the third time this evening. He's been hit by a pitch both times. Can he go 3 for 3? He'll call a timeout first before Lewis James can throw a pitch. James looks at the runner behind him, now sets. Here's the first pitch to Canby, and Canby pops it foul over the third base dugout for strike one. That one was inside near Canby's hands. He was just able to get a piece of it, pull it foul. Now we wait. Everybody gets back to their spots. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Canby up the bat. James looks at the runner at Poltar, who's on second for Berkeley post 14. Here's the 0-1, and that one almost hits Canby, and it looks like it did actually nick Canby. That was close to his head, and it must have grazed near his shoulder. So there you go. Canby 3 for 3 today, being hit by pitch. And puts runners at first and second. And up to bat be Landon Sifford. I don't know what Canby does to deserve all this. We need Cade to be hired as a investigative journalist. Figure out why Canby's always hit by a pitch, as this one skids off the turf in between the legs of Isaiah Adamson, the catcher. It's a passed ball for ball 1 to Sifford. Canby goes to second, Poltar to third. One out, 5-0. Berkeley post 14 leads Frederick post 11 here in the bottom of the fourth. An opportunity to break this one open. Lewis James on the mound for Frederick. He sets here against Landon Sifford. 1-0. Catches the outside part of the plate for a strike. The count now 1-1. Sifford 2 for 2. Both singles. 1 for an RBI. There's a chance for 2 RBIs, if not 3, if he's able to clear the wall. Here's the 1-1. Tie for ball 2. Count now 2-1 to Sifford. He steps back in on the right-handed batter's box here against James. James against the pitch call from Adamson. Looks at the runners at second and third. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Sifford. It's inside, off the glove of Adamson. He can't find it, but it's just to the right of the lefty box. Count now 3-1. You got Cam Moore waiting on deck. He already has a triple today, while base on balls on 4 straight pitches. But if you walk Sifford, you got nowhere to put Moore if you're Frederick. 3 balls, 1 strike to Sifford. Runners at second and third. Here's the pitch, and it's high for ball 4. Another free base here this inning for Berkeley post 14, and that's how everybody on base is now reached base. You had the walk, the Poltar, who's now standing at third. Canby was hit by a pitch. He's now standing at second. Sifford was just walked by Lewis James. He's at first. It looks like that's the night for Lewis James. Before Cam Moore comes up the bat, we'll have a new pitcher coming in for Frederick post 11 for the third time. So we'll step aside and take a 30-second break, as it looks like it'll be somebody from the infield. So we'll see the defensive changes here. It looks like it might be just a straight swap, but we're back in 30 seconds to let you know what exactly it all is. This is American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Remember when you were a little kid and saw your first deer?
Oh, how cute.
As an adult, maybe you've had a different experience.
Where'd that come from?
Bambi mess up your dream machine? Call Cody's Auto Body today at 304-901-4777 and get the work done right the first time. Cody's Auto Body, 851 Wilston Street in Martinsburg, has a team of auto body professionals with a lifetime of experience putting your ride back together again, regardless of how it got that way. Cody's Auto Body.
Welcome back here to P.O. Faulkner Park. Pitching change for Frederick Post 11. These pitching changes are brought to you by Smallwood and Small Insurance in Martinsburg, your total insurance solution at 121 Administrative Drive in Martinsburg. Call 304-263-3361. It's a swap between second base and the pitcher's mound. Is now on the mound is Joseph Davio. Will be doing the pitching for Frederick. Going from the mound over to second is Lewis James. So, bases loaded here in the bottom of the fourth for Berkeley Post 14. Only one out, and up to bat will be Cam Moore. James goes just like Nathan Chappell, the starter, only 1 2/3 innings. He only gave up one hit, but he did walk 3 batters and had 1 strikeout as well. Looks like Joseph Davio's final warm-up pitch is coming down to Isaiah Adamson. We're good to go. Cam Moore walking his way over to the left-handed batter's box. And you have Poltar standing at third, Canby at second, and Sifford at first as the bases are juiced for Berkeley Post 14. We know Moore has some power in his bat. First pitch inside to Cam Moore from Davio for ball 1. Joseph Davio sets. 1-0 pitch to Moore in the turf. Count now 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes now to Cam, who last time up did walk on 4 straight pitches. This time, if that occurs, be a run coming home. Here's the 2-0, and Moore sends it high into right center field. Nil makes the catch for the out. He's going to throw it to third to keep Canby at second. Coming home to score, it's Poltar, making it 6-0 Berkeley Post 14. So sac fly RBI is second RBI for Cam Moore. And up the bat, J.J. Palminelli. 2 out. Runners at first and second for Berkeley Post 14 now in the bottom of the fourth. Davio here against Palminelli. First pitch to J.J. Catches the knees for strike 1. Again, Sifford, the runner at first. Canby, the runner at second. Davio looks at Canby. Now here's the pitch inside to J.J. Palminelli. Count now 1-1. Palminelli 1 for 2 today. An RBI double. And his last time up, struck out looking. 1-1 count to him now as the pitch in the turf, but kept in front by Adamson to keep the runners at bay at first and second. The count 2-1 to Palminelli. Bottom of the fourth, it's Berkeley Post 14-6. Frederick Post 11-0. Here's the 2-1. Low and away for ball 3. Count 3-1. You have Oviedo on deck, ready to go if called upon here for Post 14. It's the 3-1 pitch. Skips off the turf. It's ball 4. Bobanelli goes over to first. Sifford goes to second. Canby to third. And again, you're in the bottom of the 4th. Bases are loaded for Berkeley post 14. And up the bat, Braden Oviedo. Oviedo this year, 3 home runs during the high school season. Lets the first pitch go by for a strike from Joseph Davio. Davio sets. The 0-1 pitch. Just fouled off by Oviedo. Count now 0-2. New baseball given out to Davio. The 0-2 pitch. High for a ball to Oviedo. One ball, 2 strikes to Ovi. This pitch inside, and it's called a ball. Almost thought for a brief second that Ovi was about to be rung up on that one. A very close pitch that could have been called either way. Here's the 2-2. And that's a grounder to the third baseman. And he'll step on third to end the inning. So it's Berkeley post 14-6. Frederick post 11-0. Our head to the 5th on the other side of this 1-minute break. This is American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, trip nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
Spring into adventure this month at CMA's Chevrolet of Martinsburg. We have a great selection of new Chevys on our lot, including over 30 new Trailblazers. And right now, you can get a new 2024 Trailblazer with $500 customer cash. Or get a new 2024 Silverado 1500 with up to $11,500 off MSRP. Plus no payments for 90 days on select new 2024 Chevy models. Together, let's drive at CMA's Chevrolet of Martinsburg.com, where owners just care more.
We welcome you back here to P.O. Faulkner Park. Berkeley post 14 extended its lead out to 6-0 here against Frederick post 11. So we head to our 5th inning there after the bottom of the 4th, in which Berkeley post 14 was able to score 1 run on no hits. Looks like you had 1, 2, 3 walks, though, and a hit by pitch. So that's what led to the 1 run on Cam Moore's sac fly to center. Second RBI of the day. Now we have a pitching change for Berkeley post 14 as Jet Gross's day on the mound has concluded. Your pitching change brought to you by Smallwood and Small Insurance in Martinsburg, your total insurance solution at 121 Administrative Drive. Call 304-263-3361. Is now pitching for the Hornets is Lane DeLauder. Top of the 5th inning. Brought to you by L.A. Roberts Jewelers, committed to excellence in quality design and craftsmanship, located at 146 North Queen Street in Martinsburg. It's Lane will face the bottom of Frederick post 11's lineup. Adamson, Hall, Nil. The 7, 8, 9 batters are due up. For Jet Gross, his final stat line on the mound: 4 innings pitched, gave up 2 hits, struck out 7 batters, had no walks and no runs given up. And here comes Adamson. So for 1 today, he struck out swinging against Gross in the bottom of the second. Here's the first pitch from Lane to Water. It's a fastball up and in for ball 1. Lane sets. Here's the windup in the 1-0. Fastball outside the count, 2-0. Lane just finished his senior year at Martinsburg with the Bulldogs as the 2-0. Inside for ball 3 to Adamson. The 3-0 pitch. At the shoulders and caught a strike. The count now 3-1 to Adamson, who thought it was ball 4. He was ready to make his way down the first baseline. Some probably would say it was ball 4. Here's a 3-1, and that is ball 4. So leadoff walk. Begin the top of the 5th for Frederick, post 11. Now stepping up for Frederick, Eddie Hall. Pick off attempt first, over at first, in safely. It's Adamson. Adamson, even though he's the catcher, no courtesy runner for him from Frederick. Pitch from Lane. Right down the lane for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike here. Hall, nobody out, top of the 5th, runner at first after the leadoff walk. Wind up in the pitch from DeWater. Breaking ball called strike 2. Goes past Hall. Hall flew out to left his last time up. Now it's an 0-2 count here against Lane DeWater. The 0-2 just outside for a ball. The count 1-2. 1-2 as Lane steps on the rubber. The base runner at first. Adamson takes his lead off the bag. Moore sets up inside. The pitch is a grounder over to the shortstop. Tough play by JJ. Long throw across the diamond. Won't get there. So it's an infield single for Hall. Nobody out. Runners now on first and second here in the top of the 5th for Frederick. That was a soft grounder in the way the defense was aligned. J.J. Bovinelli early close to that second base bag, had to go all the way back to the edge of the turf to his right, our left for those tuned in on the screen, and a throw just never made it across over to first base. And even if it did, it wouldn't have been in time. So again, an infield single for Eddie Hall. So now up to bat is center fielder Tyler Nill. With Lane DeWater out there on the mound for Berkeley post 14. The bottom of the lineup for Frederick post 11. Getting some runners on with nobody out. Big swing and a miss, though, from Nill for strike 1. DeWater sets. Looks at the runner behind him. Now here comes the 0-1 to Nill. Another swing and a miss for strike 2. Nill seems to maybe be a little bit outmatched here against Lane DeWater. DeWater realizes it a little bit here, even with the runners at first and second. The 0-2 runner goes, and it's fouled off by Nill. So that was a hit and run situation that was unsuccessful. The runners go back to first and second now. Adamson and Hall. We're in the top of the 5th inning of American Legion baseball action. It's Berkeley post 14-6. Frederick post 11, nothing. Lane DeWater on the mound for Berkeley post 14 Hornets. The 0-2 to nil. Just inside for a ball, so the count now 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runners take their leads. Wind up and the pitch. That is blooped into center. Camby's going to let it fall. It's another base hit by Nil. Another single here by the bottom half of the lineup for Frederick. They have the bases loaded with nobody out in the top of the 5th. Now the top of the lineup up to bat. It's Dysinger, who's 0 for 2. Lane DeWater's pitch to Dysinger. Fastball, called strike 1 as he lets it go by. No balls, 1 strike, still nobody out here in the top of the 5th. The pitch, high for a ball, so the count 1-1 now. It's Nil at first, Hall at second, Adamson at third. The base runners for Frederick. All 3 take their leads. A 1-1 pitch. In the turf, past Cam Moore, hits off the bricks, and a run will score, making it 6-1 here in the top of the 5th. Adamson scores. Hall goes to third. Nil goes to second on the wild pitch from Lane DeWater. 2-1 count. Nobody out. Dysinger up the bat. 2-1 lined foul, almost hitting our camera. Good thing there's a fence in front of it over down the first base line, and the count to Dysinger's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Timeout called as we had to wait for the foul ball to be retrieved before the next pitch. And here comes that 2-2 pitch. Skips off the turf. Cam Moore has to dive in front of it. Count now full at 3-2. Three balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out. Runners at second and third. DeWater on the mound against Dysinger. Wind up in the payoff pitch. Outside, but called strike 3. Caught the outside part of the plate. That's out number 1. That'll bring up Abrecht up the bat now for Frederick post 11. First pitch, big swing and a miss. Abrecht chases low for strike 1. Lane DeWater starts to settle in out on the mound now for Berkeley post 14. The 0-1 to Abrecht. Check swing. Did he go? No. As the umpire, so the count 1-1. Not the check. Say he didn't go around, so 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Abrecht has struck out both times up the bat. Is this one low for ball 2? Two balls, 1 strike now to Abrecht. Here against Lane DeWater. And this one is a wild pitch. Moore gets it off the brick. DeWater wasn't there to cover home, and the run scores. It's now 6-2. Moore had it and was ready to throw home for the play, but DeWater did not cover home. So Hall came home to score. Nill goes to third. It's now a 6-2 ball game here in the top of the fifth. 3-1 count to Abracht. Pitch misses low for ball 4. Now runners on the corners here in the top of the fifth with one out. Now up to bat, Tyler O'Brien. O'Brien has reached base twice today. One on what some would say was a double to left. Others would say was an error to left. And he also singled. First pitch outside for a ball. The 1 ball, no strike to O'Brien. Big first baseman trying to get Frederick back in this one with runners on the corners. Pitch from Lane DeWater. Misses for ball 2. We'll have a timeout called. It is mound visit for Berkeley post 14. Trying to relax. Lane DeWater out there. He came in this inning after Jet Gross, who had a fantastic outing through 4 pitches, only gave up 2 hits, struck out 7. But now we've seen here just in the top half of the 5th inning, 2 more hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, and a strikeout. Mound visit concludes. Cam Moore will be the last one. Make it from the pitcher's mound back behind home plate. He's the catcher for the Hornets. Runner at first and third for Frederick. O'Brien now wanting the signal from his third base coach again before stepping back in to the batter's box here against Lane DeWater. And 2 balls, no strikes, 1 out. Runners on the corners. Pitch. Fastball right down the middle for a strike from Lane DeWater to O'Brien. Tyler O'Brien gets another number call out from his third base coach. He checks the wristband and steps back in. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. 2-1. Softly grounded to the shortstop. Pominelli. His throw to first. Scooped up by Riley Morgan for the out number 2. Runner Nill came home to score to make it 6-3 on the fielder's choice. Abracht goes over to second base. Again, 6-3 fielder's choice for out number 2. Making it 6-3. Berkeley post 14 leading Frederick post 11. Now up to bats McDonald with a runner on second and 2 outs. First pitch high from Lane DeWater to McDonald for ball 1. Lane looks at the runner behind him. Looks again. Here's the 1-0. Fastball high for ball 2 to McDonald. 2 balls, no strikes to McDonald, who is 0 for 2 today. He's struck out swinging both times at the plate. Lane. 2-0 pitch at the knees. First strike to McDonald, so the count 2-1. The 7th batter Lane's faced so far this inning. Here's the 2-1. That's fouled off the net behind home plate by McDonald. The 2-2 count for McDonald here against Lane DeWater. Good job by the catcher. Cam Moore catching that foul ball that was thrown back by the man on deck and almost took out the head of the home plate umpire, incidentally. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Lane DeLauder's pitch. Fouled off just slightly by McDonald to stay alive. Joseph Davio, the one on deck, this time hands the baseball to the home plate umpire instead of throwing it back after the close call last time. Again, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runner on second. Fastball inside, ball 3 from DeLauder to McDonald, so the count now full. It's Berkeley post 14-6. Frederick post 11-3 now here in the top of the 5th. They've tacked on the 3 runs. Here comes the payoff pitch, and it's inside to McDonald for ball 4. Another walk issued by Lane DeLauder. 2 outs. Runners now first and second. It's the 3rd walk Lane DeLauder has given up here in the top of the 5th. He's also given up 2 hits and has a strikeout. Here's Joseph Davio up the bat. Pitch from Lane DeLauder. It's a grounder over towards second base. Landon Sifford bobbles it, and he can't get the throw because of it. Now base is loaded with 2 outs on the error. Brings up the go-ahead run up the bat for Frederick. That's Lewis James, second baseman now, who originally came in as the pitcher, but then swapped with Joseph Davio. Pitch from DeLauder. Low for ball 1 to James. Two out. Bases loaded for Frederick post 11. 1-0. Big swing and a miss from James from DeLauder's fastball. The count now even at 1-1. One ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Here in the top of the 5th. 3-run ball game for the Hornets, trying to cling on here. 1-1 pitch. Outside for a ball. The count now 2-1 to James. Here's the 2-1. Swing and a miss for strike 2. James behind that fastball from Lane DeLauder. It's Lane DeLauder for the Hornets. It's Lewis James up the bat. 2-2 pitch. It's high for ball 3. So here we go. Top of the 5th. 6-3, post 14 leads post 11. Bases loaded. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Lane DeLauder on the mound against Lewis James. Payoff pitch. Popped up down the first base line and just foul by a few feet. We'll do it all over again as everybody here at P.O. Faulkner Park holding their breaths on that one. Lewis James with a smile on his face, trotting back down that first baseline. Thought he had that one. Now here we go again for another 3-2 pitch. DeLauder sets. Takes a deep breath. 3-2 fastball. And that's over the head of the second baseman and down for a hit into right. And bobbled now by Christian Alter. So 2 runs will score, and it's a 6-5 ball game. Great battle at the plate by Lewis James. Able to go opposite field and get 2 RBIs. And that's going to be the end, it looks like, for Lane DeLauder. So we'll step aside, take a 30-second break as we have a pitching change here in the top of the fifth. It's Berkeley post 14-6. Frederick post 11 now at 5. This is American Legion Baseball here on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. We're back in 30 seconds.
Hi, Crescia Hornby here. Larry DeMarco, broker of Modern Realty Results, believes he has some of the best real estate agents in the Eastern Panhandle. Agents at Modern Realty Results have years of experience and knowledge of the local real estate market. Agents within the office work as a team to provide quality customer service. We strive to always ensure client satisfaction through handling every transaction with honesty and integrity, all while offering competitive rates. Modern Realty Results is veteran-owned and managed. Please call us at 262-4222, modernrealtyresults.com.
Welcome back to P.O. Faulkner Park. Pitching change brought to you by Smallwood and Small Insurance in Martinsburg, your total insurance solution at 121 Administrative Drive. Call 304-263-3361. It's Lane DeLauder. A rough outing, unfortunately for him, giving up 5 runs here in the top of the fifth. He's now doing the pitching for Berkeley post 14, it looks like. Number 6. Cole Lewis coming in for the Hornets. He originally was in right field. Alter came in, pinch hit for him. Now Lewis re-enters as the pitcher. It's a 1-run ball game now. It was 6-0 entering this inning. Berkeley post 14 leading. Now some life in Frederick post 11. You do have 2 outs. We'll be ready to see here a catcher and Adamson back up for another time this inning as he led things off for Frederick post 11. So you'll have runners at second and third for Frederick post 11 as I'm looking here at the scorebook, making sure I have everything correct on my end as well. Had a lot to write down here in this top of the fifth so far. Here comes Adamson. Cole Lewis, ready to go. Davio, tying run at third. James, the go-ahead run at second after his 2 RBI double. Lewis's pitch. Fastball called, strike 1 to Adamson. To the applause of the Hornets fans in attendance. Lewis sets. The 0-1. Skips off the turf and off of the catcher Cam Moore, but it stays in front of him, so the count 1-1. At a close one, it would have went to the backstop, could potentially have seen a tie ball game. Count 1-1. Here's the pitch. That's lined into left and down for a hit. 1 run will score. Rounding third, coming home is the go-ahead run and no tag. Frederick, post 11, now leads 7-6. Here with 7 runs in the top of the fifth. A 2 RBI single by Adamson. Silence here at P.O. Faulkner Park. Eddie Hall up to bat. Pick off over at first. Throw not in time. Cole Lewis, pitch to Hall. Beautiful curveball, called strike one. Hall steps back in. He's 1 for 2 today with a single. A fly out the left. He swings through this fastball at his eyes. Count 0-2. 2 outs. Runner at first. Now a 7-6 post 11 lead here against Berkeley post 14. Curveball hits the helmet of Hall and then hits the home plate umpire's helmet as well. Only one of the two get to take the base. Runners at first and second. That'll bring Nil up to bat. Here against Cole Lewis, the pitch. Fastball low and away for ball one. Lewis steps back on the rubber here against Nil. Big swing and a miss. The count now 1-1. Nil singled his last time up earlier this inning. A 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, runners at first and second. Lewis sets. The delivery. Curveball, swing and a miss from Nil for strike 2 as that one was in the turf. Some more able to let it ricochet off him forward to keep the runners put at first and second. Again, 1 ball, 2 strikes with 2 outs as Lewis trying to get Berkeley post 14 back up to bat. 1-2, called strike 3. Nil goes down looking in the top of the 5th. It's finally over after 12 batters and 7 Frederick post 11 runs. They now lead Berkeley post 14 7-6. We'll step aside, take a 1-minute break. This is American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Mother Shuckers. Fresh Florida stone crab straight from the boat to your throat. Blue crabs, king, snow, Dungeness, all available year-round. Try and find that anywhere else around here. Homemade soup specials every day. Mother Shuckers is located at 1014 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg. Mother Shuckers, we have an opinion. If you don't like it, shuck it up, Buttercup. Come on over to Mother Shuckers.
Welcome back here to P.O. Faulkner Park. Bottom of the 5th inning we go now between Berkeley post 14 and Frederick post 11. Bottom of the 5th brought to you by the Wagner Law Firm, West Virginia's premier DUI defense attorney. Visit westvirginiaduilawyers.com. A little bit of a chuckle there during that sponsor read because baseball came up and hit the net just at my eye level and did not expect that to happen for warm-up pitches here from Joseph Davio on the mound again for Frederick. Due up for Berkeley post 14 after a lengthy top of the 5th. Edwards, Morgan, Poltar due up. 6, 7, 8 batters. Now Berkeley post 14 finds itself down a run. They were up 6-0 entering this inning. Pitch from Davio to Edwards. High for ball 1. 1 ball, no strike, nobody out. The pitch. High for ball 2. From Davio to Edwards. Joseph Davio steps back on the rubber. It's been a while since he's had to pitch, so see when he's able to find the strike zone. Is this one even higher? It's ball 3 to Edwards. 3 balls, no strikes to the designated hitter for Berkeley post 14. Here's the 3-0. Catches the outside part of the plate for a strike. Count now 3-1. Here's the 3-1 pitch. It's high for ball 4. As that one kind of looked like it slipped out of the hand of Davio. So Edwards gets a leadoff walk here in the bottom of the 5th for Berkeley post 14. Now up to the plate is Riley Morgan for the 3rd time today. Morgan 0 for 2 on the night. First pitch skips off the turf past Isaiah Adamson, the catcher, straight to the backstop, and Edwards takes second on the wild pitch from Davio, and it's a 1-0 count to Morgan. Davio sets. Runner on second now with nobody out in the bottom of the 5th. A pitch to Morgan in the opposite batter's box for ball 2. Davio struggling to find the strike zone now here in the bottom of the 5th. It's the 3rd pitcher today for Frederick. This one outside for ball 3 to Morgan, so 3-0 count. Morgan steps back in. Here's the pitch. And that's called a strike, so the count now 3-1. Just like Edwards at bat, it was 3-0, now 3-1. See what happens next. Three-1 pitch, skips before reaching home plate, and that's ball 4. So back-to-back walks here to begin the bottom of the 5th for Berkeley post 14, and we'll have a mound visit for Frederick post 11 after that. See if Joseph Davio's day is done on the mound, and it looks like it is. So we'll step aside for another pitching change. Again, bottom of the 5th. It's Frederick post 11-7 and Berkeley post 14-6. This is American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. We're back in 30 seconds.
Most insurance companies see you as a claim number. Most law firms see you as a case file. When their top priority is their bottom line, you only get a fraction of the attention that you deserve. At the law firm of Burke, Schultz, Harmon, and Jenkinson, it's personal. We listen to our clients to see the whole picture, because every part of you is important. For a team built on relationships and results, call Burke, Schultz, Harmon, and Jenkinson at 304 Lawyers, or visit us at burkeandschultz.com.
We welcome you back to P.O. Faulkner Park. Now on the mound for Frederick, John Dysinger. Colin McLaughlin here for Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. On-site producers, Cade Miller. Back at the studios, Nick Verzolini. Pitching change brought to you by Smallwood and Small Insurance in Martinsburg, your total insurance solution at 121 Administrative Drive. Call 304-263-3361. See where everybody else has went for Frederick in the infield. They now have pitcher number 4 of the night here in this 7-6 ball game after back-to-back walks issued there to begin the bottom of the 5th by Joseph Davio. I believe Davio will remain in the game, just waiting to see if he goes back to second or if he goes to shortstop. as John Dysinger continues to warm up for Frederick. Michael Poltar will be due up to bat for the Hornets. There's the final warm-up pitch for Dysinger. Looks like Lewis James stays at second, and moving to short will be Joseph Davio. Poltar steps up to the plate. Here in the bottom of the fifth for Berkeley post 14. He squares to bunts, and he successfully bunts it on the first base side, and it's going to be thrown away by Isaiah Adamson into right field. Everybody running around the bases. One run is scored to make it 7-7. The other comes home to score to make it 8-7 on the throwing error. And over to third is Poltar. And there you go. Just like that, Berkeley post 14 back in the lead now with nobody out in the bottom of the fifth. 8-7 against Frederick post 11 as Isaiah Adamson tried to throw over to first in that one. Not even close. Now up to bat, Cole Lewis back in. And he squares the bunt down the third base line. It's perfect down that line, and the throw from the third baseman, McDonald, pulls O'Brien, the first baseman, off the bag. Runner at third came home to score. It's now 9-7. Small ball paying off now for Berkeley post 14 here in the bottom of the fifth. 3 runs have scored. Now pickoff attempt over at first, not in time from Dysinger. Gamby squares to bunt. He pulls the bat back. It's a strike. Gamby's been hit by a pitch 3 times. Each time he's been up the bat. Can he get the golden sombrero of hit by pitches? He pops this one up into the infield on the left side. Third baseman underneath it. McDonald will make the catch for the out. That's out number 1 here in the bottom of the fifth. Runner stays put at first. And up to bat's Landon Sifford. Pitch to Sifford inside for a ball from Dysinger. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out. 9-7 ball game now. Post 14 leads post 11. This pitch low for ball 2 from Dysinger to Sifford, so the count 2-0. Runner at first is Lewis. We have a timeout called. Not sure why. Something over to our left seems to be resolved now. We're ready to go. 2-0 pitch inside, almost takes the head off Sifford. He had to lean back out of that one. Count 3-0. Three balls, no strikes. Sifford, here's the pitch. It's right down the middle for a strike. Sifford now sees the first strike as this at bat. He walked his last time up. He has 2 singles as well. Runner at first, 1 out, bottom of the fifth. Here's the pitch. And that's ripped right back up the middle and down for a base hit by Sifford into right field. And that's a single. Sifford goes to right center with that one. Runners at first and second. Now up to bat is Cam Moore. Moore has tripled with an RBI, walked, and had a sac fly RBI to center his last time up. Pitch from Dysinger. Outside for a ball off the glove of the catcher Adamson. Both base runners advance now 1 base each, putting 2 runners in scoring position here in the bottom of the 5th again. A 1-0 count to Moore. 3 runs have already crossed here, the bottom of the 5th, for Berkeley post 14 as they now lead Frederick post 11, 9-7, after Frederick post 11 scored 7 runs in the top of the 5th to take the lead. Infield in with 1 out. The pitch outside for a ball. The count now 2-0 to Moore. Raking ball, called a strike. The count now 2-1 as Moore lets that one go by. Two balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Runners at second and third for Berkeley post 14. Here's the pitch. Same pitch, called strike 2. It's John Dysinger. Works the count back slightly in his favor here against Cam Moore. Dysinger sets. Wind up in the 2-2 to Moore. Outside for ball 3. That fastball just misses. Now the count runs full to Cam Moore. Payoff pitch to Moore. Fly ball to the left and foul. Keeping the count at 3-2 as that one had a play. Again, it's Lewis, the base runner at third. Siffer, the base runner at second. 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. Dysinger's pitch, way outside, not even close. It's ball 4. Cam Moore, and the base is loaded now here in the bottom of the 5th for Berkeley post 14. Up the bat, J.J. Bominelli, but first we'll have courtesy runner for Moore. Grant Henderson steps back in at first for the catcher. Bominelli against Dysinger. Pitch. Fastball fouled off to the on-deck circle on the left for strike 1. Bottom of the 5th inning, it's Berkeley post 14-9, Frederick post 11-7. Bases loaded for post 14. Here's the pitch. It's that slider, called strike 2, J.J. Bominelli. JJ has an RBI double, walk, and a strikeout looking so far tonight. And he swings and misses at this one for out number 2. It's the first strikeout for John Dysinger. First strikeout we've seen in a while. Only the 3rd post 14 Hornet struck out today. That'll bring up Braden Oviedo. Ovi takes the first pitch. It misses for ball 1. One ball, no strike, 2 outs, bases loaded for Berkeley post 14. 1-0. Catches the inside part of the plate. The count now 1-1 to Oviedo. Oviedo with an RBI single. Fly out to right. Grounded out his last time up to the third baseman. With the bases loaded as well, might I add. And now this one hits Oviedo. So a run will come home to score. The bases were loaded near in the bottom of the 5th. Post 14 now leads 10-7 here against Frederick post 11. The 4 runs now have come home to score for Berkeley post 14, trying to respond after that 7 scored in the top of the 7th. They've done so very nicely as Edwards grounds this first pitch right back up the middle, and the shortstop, Daviel, gets it, steps on second for the out. So that'll end the inning. It is 10-7, Berkeley post 14 on top. We're headed to the 6th, the other side of this 1-minute break. This is American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
WVU Medicine is pleased to have physical medicine and rehabilitation, neurosurgery, and neurology all in one place at the WVU Rockefeller Neuroscience Institute Martinsburg Clinics, located in a custom-designed suite on the 3rd floor of the WVU Medicine Spring Mills Medical Office Building at 61 Campus Drive. We look forward to welcoming patients at this larger location in Spring Mills. For more information about the WVU Rockefeller Neuroscience Institute Martinsburg Clinics, call 304-596-5038.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, trip nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
We welcome you back to P.O. Faulkner Park as we head to our top of the 6th inning, brought to you by Parsons Ford at 1400 Shepherdstown Road and online at parsonsford.com. They became number 1 by making you number 1 first. Parsons. Colin McLaughlin here for Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. Cade Miller, our on-site producer, back at the studio is Nick Verzolini after a very long top of the 5th inning. Feels like the entire 5th inning took the same amount of time as the rest of the ball game has here at P.O. Faulkner. Our score now 10-7 after 11 of the 17 runs that we've seen so far tonight were scored in that 5th inning. 7 in the top, 4 in the bottom. So now, here we go. Here in the top of the 6th. Pitch from Lewis. Inside for ball 1. So up the bat is Dysinger. Top of the lineup, due up. 1, 2, 3 batters for Frederick post 11. 1-0 from Lewis. Fly ball to right center. Can be trying to get there, and he won't. It takes a weird hop over to the right fielder. That's a leadoff single by Dysinger for Frederick post 11 here in the top of the 6th. That's Braden Edwards out in right field. So, DH spot's been burned. So this pitch from Lewis. Low for ball 1. It's now up to bat is Abrecht. A runner on first, the 1-0. Fastball, big swing and a miss. The count now 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody out. Runner at first. Pick off over to first base. Attempt safe. Sliding in. It's the base runner, Dysinger. It's Lewis. Looks over his shoulder again at the runner. Sets. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Abrecht, and that's strike 2. He lets it go by at the knees. Abrecht 0 for 2 with 3 plate appearances. He struck out looking twice and walked his last time up. Now a timeout called as We have some action over down the first baseline in Frederick's bullpen, and the ball got away from him and in play. So had to be taken care of before we could resume. It's the downside of bullpens down the baselines. 1-2. Grounded down the third baseline. Oviedo goes to second, gets the out. No throw to first. So it's a 5-4 fielder's choice for out number 1. Now off the bat, O'Brien again here for Frederick Post 11. It's Tyler O'Brien has been the dangerous one that we've seen for the most part, making contact each time up the bat. First pitch from Lewis catches the knees of O'Brien for strike 1 on the curve. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Pitch from Lewis. Called strike 2 as O'Brien lets it go by. It's Post 14 leading Post 11. 10-7 here, top half of the 6th inning. Breaking ball from Lewis. Didn't get O'Brien to chase as it's in the turf for a ball. So the count 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runner on first is Abrecht. He takes his lead. Now quickly goes back as Cole Lewis steps off. Lewis looks over his shoulder now at the runner. So here's the kick in, the pitch to O'Brien, and he'll foul that one off over to the left to keep the count at 1-2. O'Brien taking his time before stepping back in on the right-handed batter's box. Lewis waiting before stepping on the rubber. They both do so. Runner at first takes his lead. 1-2, curveball, called strike 3. Caught looking is O'Brien for the punch out. That's out number 2. Now up to bats McDonald. Lewis ready to go. 2 outs, runner at first here in the top of the 6th. Pitch to McDonald, fastball called strike 1 at the numbers and the letters. The 0-1. Curveball off the chest of Cam Moore, the catcher, and that'll allow Abrecht to take second. The count 1-1 now to McDonald. Still 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. 3-run ball game. Berkeley Post 14's advantage here against Frederick Post 11. Pitch inside for a ball. Count now 2-1 to McDonald. Cole Lewis sets. Here's the pitch. It's low for ball 3 to McDonald. McDonald has struck out swinging twice and walked once tonight. Now is a 3-1 count here against Lewis in the top of the 6th with 2 outs and a runner on second. The 3-1 pitch is low for ball 4. Now McDonald sees his second base on balls of the night. Runners at first and second now with 2 outs. So the tying run will step up to the plate. Joseph Davio for Frederick Post 11. Lewis sets. First pitch of the at-bat to Davio. At the knees, called strike 1. Lewis, over 25 pitches now for him. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Pitch misses outside the count, 1-1. One ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Runners at first and second. Top of the 6th for Frederick. Pitch from Lewis. Curveball that backtracks Davio. He thought it was going to run in and hit him, but it catches the inside part of the plate for strike 2. Beautiful break there from Cole Lewis's pitch. Again, 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Pitch. Just misses. It's ball 2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Lewis's pitch. Grounded by Davio and foul over to the third base dugout as the count remains 2-2. 2 outs, 2 on. Battle will continue between Cole Lewis and Joseph Davio. Here we go, the 2-2. And that's fouled off again by Davio, this time to our right to keep the count at 2-2. That goes up towards the softball field. (10-7). Berkeley post 14 leads Frederick post 11 here in the top of the 6th. Runners at first and second for Frederick post 11 with 2 outs. The 2-2 count. Lewis sets here against Joseph Davio, the batter. The 2-2 pitch. Called strike 3. Davio goes down looking to end the 6th and strand the runners at first and second, keeping it 10-7. Step aside, take a 1-minute break, then be back for our bottom half of the 6th. This is American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Not sure where to go or who to trust with your flooring project? And start with Trips Flooring, proudly serving the area for more than 25 years, specializing in floor sanding and refinishing, along with installation of new flooring, including hardwood, tile, vinyl, laminate, carpet, and the hottest trend in flooring, luxury vinyl, tile, and luxury vinyl plank. Are you on a budget? Check out their warehouse, cash and carry, or call 304-229-7009, or visit them online at tripsfloorsanding.com.
Welcome to CMA's Honda of Winchester, where you can drive an award-winning lineup of new and certified pre-owned Hondas, Accords, Civics, CRVs, HRVs, and more at CMA's Honda of Winchester. Owners just care more. Welcome to CMA's Honda of Winchester, where you can drive an award-winning lineup of new and certified pre-owned Hondas, Accords, Civics, CRVs, HRVs, and more at CMA's Honda of Winchester. Owners just care more.
Welcome back to P.O. Faulkner Park as we head to bottom of the 6th inning, which is brought to you by WVU Medicine, Berkeley, and Jefferson Medical Centers, leading healthcare here and everywhere. It's a 10-7 ball game between Berkeley post 14 and Frederick post 11. Looking out there, trying to see if we have a new pitcher or not. Kind of hard with these numbers for Frederick. The jerseys are blue and it's outlined in white and red. The numbers are also blue. Well, it looks like we do have a new pitcher out there for Frederick, brought to you by Smallwood and Small. Is now on the mound doing the pitching is number 1, Jacob Bontius. So, first pitch from Pontius is called strike 1 to Riley Morgan to begin the bottom of the 6th inning. After last inning Post 14 was able to hit around as this one skips off the turf. It's a fastball to even up the count at 1-1 to Morgan. Pontius, the fifth pitcher, for Frederick. 1-1 fouled off by Morgan for strike 2. So that ricocheted off the net and made things interesting down below us. Some chatter. There's people trying to recover the ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes, nobody out. Here for Riley Morgan, up the bat to lead things off in the bottom of the 6th. The 1-2, missing outside from Pontius, trying to get Morgan to chase, so the count 2-2. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. It's grounded down the third base side. McDonald picks it up, throws it across the diamond to O'Brien for out number 1. Now up to bat, Michael Poltar for Berkeley Post 14. Poltar struck out swinging, just walked, and had the wild bunt that led to a few runs, thanks to the error by the catcher Adamson, throwing it down into right field. First pitch from Pontius low in the turf to Poltar for ball 1. Again, bottom of the 6th, it's Berkeley Post 14-10, Frederick Post 11-7. Poltar swings and misses at that one. Count now 1-1. Pontius goes with the changeup. Here's the 1-1. That is ripped foul. Out of play down the third base side, making count now 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Pontius on the mound. So that actually came back into play off the fence. So we had to wait for it to be thrown over towards the Post 14 dugout. We're ready to go. Again, 1 ball, 2 strikes to Michael Poltar for Berkeley Post 14. The windup and the kick and the pitch from Pontius high for a ball as he wanted to go with a breaking ball that never broke. So the count 2-2 to Poltar. Should be Lewis on deck, unless we see a change. 2-2. Swing and a miss for out number 2. Poltar goes down swinging. He'll make his way back to the dugout. Now up to bat, I believe is Grant Henderson. So, pinch hitter. And he swings at the first pitch, and it's at the shortstop who barehands it, throws to first, and it would have been a great play except for O'Brien was unable to scoop it up off the turf. That would have been a web gem for sure by Davio. So that took a weird hop off the turf from a blooper by Grant Henderson. Finds his way at first on the error, because that was a low throw. It should have been caught by the first baseman, O'Brien. Canby swings at the first pitch, and that's off the glove of Davio now. So, after an error by the first baseman, it's an error by the shortstop. Runners at first and second. That'll bring up Landon Sifford. Got 2 outs. Runners at first and second. Henderson and Canby. Sifford still putting his batting gloves on as he steps into the batter's box. here against Jacob Pontius. Pitch to Sifford. Outside for a ball off the glove of Adamson. And now Berkeley Post 14 has 2 runners in scoring position off the passed ball. Canby goes to second. Henderson goes to third. 1-0 count with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. This Berkeley Post 14 trying to get some insurance runs. They lead 10-7 here against Frederick Post 11. It's down their final 3 outs. Pitch from Pontius misses for ball 2 to Sifford. Got Cam Moore on deck. He's already got 2 RBIs today. Pitch. Grounded foul by Sifford over to the left, making the count now 2-1. Sifford. It's 4 at-bats. He's 3 for 3. Well, with 3 singles, so 4 plate appearances, 3 at-bats, my apologies. As this pitch at the shoulders, it's called a strike. Count now even at 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners at second and third here in the bottom of the 6th for Post 14. The pitch from Pontius way outside and nowhere close to getting it is the catcher Adamson as Henderson steps on home and then slips on home. He's okay though, and it's now an 11-7 lead. Runner at third, 3 balls, 2 strikes to Sifford. The pitch from Pontius. Just high, it's ball 4. Sifford walks with 2 outs. Runners on the corners now. That'll bring up Cam Moore. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Moore takes what few pieces of his catcher gear he had off and will step up to plate on the left side. First pitch from Pontius to Moore. Catches the inside part of the plate for strike 1. Sifford at first, Canby at third. Base runners taking their leads. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Pontius' pitch called strike 2 at the letters to Moore. Moore taking his time before stepping back into the left-handed box. Chokes up just a bit on the bat here against Pontius. Here's the pitch. That's inside, almost hits the legs of Moore. He's able to shuffle his way back. The count now 1-2. Jacob Pontius, 20 pitches now. Runner goes, and Sifford, pitch inside, no throw on the catcher's indifference. So now 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runners at second and third in the bottom of the 6th for Berkeley Post 14. Moore, a lefty. The outfield shifted over as this one popped up by Cam Moore. Foul territory over near the first base dugout. O'Brien was ready for it, but it sounded like from up here Adamson might have been calling him off, his catcher, even though he was running out. O'Brien was running in, and they almost collided, which caused O'Brien to kind of panic and not put his glove up, so it hits off of him and lands foul. Fortunate there for Berkeley Post 14 and Cam Moore to stay alive and avoid out number 3. Here comes the 2-2. That's a high fly ball into left field. Running in on it is the left fielder, Abrecht, and he'll make the catch for out number 3. So 2 runners get stranded. We're headed to the 7th. It's a 11-7 Berkeley Post 14 lead here against Frederick post 11. This is American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Hi, this is Larry DeMarco. I'm with Century 21 Modern Realty Results. Macy Folk and I have a new listing here at 614 South Queen Street. We'd love to give you a tour.
This charming stone home is turnkey ready. It has 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, a fenced-in backyard, stone fireplace, new HVAC, stainless steel appliances, hardwood floors on the first 2 levels, and luxury vinyl flooring on the 3rd and 4th levels. There's plenty of room for a growing family with 2,008 square feet of living space. The home is located within walking distance to Martinsburg High School at 614 South Queen Street. Stop inside to discover a fully renovated interior that exudes elegance and charm by calling Macy Folk at 304-676-5050 or by emailing her at macyfolk1@gmail.com. The Larry DeMarco team at Century 21 Modern Realty Results is located at 804 North Queen Street in Martinsburg.
Providing reliable protection since 1877, we are Farmers and Mechanic Insurance Companies. For over a century, we have been dedicated to provide dependable insurance protection and excellent customer service. We specialize in auto, home, farm, and business insurance. Our products are backed with personal, hands-on service. You can trust us to protect what matters most to you. For all of your insurance needs, there's Farmers and Mechanics Insurance Companies.
Smallwood and Small Insurance in Martinsburg, your total insurance solution at 121 Administrative Drive in Martinsburg. Call 304-263-3361. And you'd think how many times I've had to read that tonight, I'd have it memorized by now. I don't. Should. There's a lot of things memorized up in this brain of mine. Colin McLaughlin here for Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. Alongside me are on-site producer Cade Miller back at the studio, hopefully still awake. It's Nick Verzolini. It's been a long day. Here we go. Final 3 outs. That's all they need. The Hornets up 11-7 against Frederick. Post 11. All 7 Frederick's runs came in the top of the 5th. Since then, it's been Berkeley Post 14's night. They're up by 4. Oviedo ready to go here against 6, 7, 8 batters, James, Adamson, Hall. Henderson at third base since Oviedo's on the mound. First pitch from Oviedo, called strike 1. Ovi sets. Pitch to James. Big swing and a miss for strike 2. Oviedo, 2 pitches, 2 beautiful strikes to begin the at-bat here against James. The 0-2, fastball low for a ball. So Oviedo had to put everything he could behind that one for some extra velo. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here against Lewis James. Oviedo wind up and the pitch. Called strike 3. James goes down looking for out number 1 in the top of the 7th. That'll now bring up a pinch hitter for Frederick. So let me look here at their lineup card with their roster. Up to bat now is Vinny McGinnis. What a last name that is. Oviedo's first pitch misses for a ball. Here against McGinnis. .1-0, big swing and a miss. McGinnis almost swung out of his shoes on that one. The count 1-1. Vinny McGinnis steps back in. 1-1 pitch from Oviedo. Slider outside, but McGinnis unable to hold the bat back. Strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Oviedo shakes off the first call from Cam Moore. Now here comes the 1-2. It's low for a ball. The count 2-2 to McGinnis. You have Hall on deck. Just double checking to my right. He is over there with the Ginger Flow. It's the 1-2. Called strike 3. McGinnis goes down looking for out number 2. Back-to-back strikeouts looking by Braden Oviedo. Trying to put a bow on things here for Berkeley Post 14, who are 1 out away from win number 6 on the season. Eddie Hall up to bat. Just fly out, singled, and then hit by a pitch. Oviedo's pitch to Hall. Big swing and a miss for strike 1. Oviedo steps back on the rubber against Hall, who steps back in on the right-handed batter's box. No balls, 1 strike. The windup and the pitch from Oviedo. Just outside for a ball. The count 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Pitch from Oviedo. It's the backstop, as you could most certainly here for a ball. Count 2-1. Ovi shakes that one off. See, he meets with Cam Moore to get a new baseball. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Here against Eddie Hall. Braden Oviedo on the mound for Berkeley Post 14 here in the top of the 7th. 2-1, grounded to the shortstop. Avenelli bobbles it. Frederick stays alive on the error. See how costly that error might be with 2 outs. And up to bat now. We'll have another change as up to bat is Pontius. Came in for pitcher. Pontius up the bat. Hall at first with 2 outs in the top of the 7th. Oviedo's pitch drills Pontius in the leg. Now with 2 outs, runners at first and second. We head to the top of the lineup now for Frederick Post 11, who are somehow, some way still alive in this one. Down 11-7 against Berkeley Post 14 here in the top of the 7th. Down to the final out as well. After back-to-back strikeouts looking to begin the top of the 7th, he had an error to allow Hall to reach first, followed now by this hit by pitch. Put runners at first and second. Dysinger up to bat. His 5th at bat. Oviedo on the mound, the pitch. Outside for a ball. One ball, no strikes, 2 outs. Oviedo on the mound. Here's the 1-0. That's a strike. Breaking ball that catches the outside corner of the zone for a strike. A 1-1 count with 2 out. Pitch from Oviedo. Upstairs for a ball. Count now 2-1. Oviedo adjusts his hat. Sets. Runners at first and second with 2 outs. Pitch. Fouled off by Dysinger for strike 2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Berkeley Post 14 clinch it with the win right here, 1 strike away. Oviedo on the mound. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Dysinger. Pitch from Oviedo. It's outside for ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners at first and second for Frederick. here in the top of the 7th. The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3 to drop third strike. Cam Moore, long throw. Was it in time? No. Passed ball that skidded past Cam Moore all the way to the left in that back corner of the backstop. Very long throw that was close, but was not there. And even with a strikeout, the game's not over. Base is now loaded with 2 outs. Potential tying run comes to the plate for Frederick Post 11 and Abract here against Braden Oviedo. Pitch. Fly ball into left center field. Making the catch is Canby, and that is that. Berkeley Post 14 gets the win by a final score of 11-7 against Frederick Post 11, and improves to 6-1 on the season. Frederick falls to 2-2. I'll step aside, take a 2-minute break, then be back for a very quick post-game show as it's already 9:40 at night. It's American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
My kids, you know I want the best for you, don't you? We need to have a conversation.
End-of-life planning is no one's favorite discussion, but the relief of having everything in place when the hour of need arrives is a gift. Give it to your family. Plan ahead with us.
Brown Funeral Homes, a leading provider of cremations, invites you to explore the many flexible options of cremation. From environmental considerations to the benefit of greatly reduced cost, it may be the perfect answer for your family. Online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, trip nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
Life is evolving. Over the past decade, the way we do almost everything has changed. Get on your phone, see something you like, click on it, and it shows up at your door. Why should the way you have your car serviced be any different? Why waste your time going to a dealership service department when Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet will come to you? They service all makes, all models, and offer full parts and labor warranties. Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet will come to your door or office and service your vehicle while you're doing what you need to be doing, conducting that business meeting or mowing the lawn. Why take time out of your busy schedule when you don't have to? Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet's friendly, knowledgeable staff will come to you where you live or where you work for full service maintenance, from oil changes to tire rotations, brakes, batteries, multi-point inspections. They handle it all. Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet is committed to delivering the best of the best to their customers. Trust them to service your vehicle where you're at home or at work. Skip the time-consuming and terminal wait at the dealership. Schedule your appointment at fordofhagerstown.com or hancockchevy.com.
We welcome you back to P.O. Faulkner Park for our post-game show, brought to you by the Palace Lounge on Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg, with a full lunch and dinner menu and daily specials in a clean, comfortable atmosphere. Check out the menu on the Palace Lounge Facebook page. Colin McLaughlin here for Talk Radio WRNR TV 10. Our on-site producer is Cade Miller. Back at the studio is Nick Verzolini as Berkeley Post 14 wins a wild one over Frederick Post 11 by a final score of 11-7. We'll now get our game summary brought to you by the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm in Martinsburg, where it's about seeking justice for you. Go to wvjusticelawyers.com. Berkeley Post 14 was on top of it early. They eventually led at 1 point 6-0, scoring 4 runs in the bottom of the first, 1 in the bottom of the second, 1 more in the bottom of the fourth. But then came what is now going to be dubbed the dreaded 5th inning, as Frederick Post 11 scored all 7 of its runs in the top of the 7th, making it 7-6. But Berkeley Post 14 was able to score 4 runs of its own in the bottom of the 5th, and then adding 1 more in the bottom of the 6th. Oviedo able to close it out in the 7th, and that's the final score. As I said, 11-7. Berkeley Post 14, 11 runs on 9 hits, 4 errors. Frederick 7 runs on 7 hits and 3 errors. Game stats now brought to you by Hagerstown Ford, revolutionizing the car buying experience. Visit them online at fordofhagerstown.com. I'll give you the pitching stats first. Chappell for Frederick, 1 2/3 innings, giving up 4 hits, 5 runs, 4 of them earned, no walks, and a strikeout. James, 1 2/3 innings pitched, giving up a hit, a run which was earned, 3 walks, a strikeout. Davio went 2/3 innings, giving up no hits, 2 runs, both earned, 3 walks, no strikeouts. Dysinger pitched an inning, gave up 3 hits, 2 runs, both earned, walk, and a strikeout. And Pontius pitched an inning, giving up a hit, a run, which was not earned, walk, and a strikeout. For Berkeley Post 14 on the mound, you had Jet Gross go 4 innings, giving up 2 hits, no runs, no walks, 7 strikeouts. Lane DeLauder pitched 2/3 of an inning, giving up 3 hits, 7 runs, 3 of them earned, 3 walks, and 1 strikeout. Cole Lewis pitched 1 1/3 inning, giving up 2 hits, walk, striking out 3. Oviedo pitched 1 inning and struck out all 3 batters there in the 7th. Offensively, Canby with a hit, Sifford with 3 hits, Moore with a hit, 2 RBIs. Sifford had an RBI as well. Pavanelli with a hit and an RBI. Oviedo with a hit and 2 RBIs. And Poltar with a hit as well as Alter. Our player of the game brought to you by Rock's Local Markets, with convenient locations around the Eastern Panhandle. Fast, fresh, friendly Rock's. Tonight's player of the game, Braden Oviedo, with a hit, 2 RBIs, and the save in that final top of the 7th, striking out the side against Frederick. So that'll wrap things up as Berkeley Post 14 improves to 6-1 on the year with a 11-7 win over Frederick Post 11. For Nick Verzolini, Cade Miller, I'm Colin McLaughlin, signing off. This has been American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV10. Have a great rest of your night, everybody.
You've been tuned into American Legion Baseball for the continued excitement of high school, college, and Major League Baseball. Keep it tuned to 106.5 FM, AM 740, Comcast Cable Channel 10, and online at talkradiowrnr.com.
WVU Medicine is pleased to have physical medicine and rehabilitation,